You might not necessarily think yoga and fisting go together, but walk with me here. Sex should be fun. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessamine Stanley. I'm a yoga teacher and author and entrepreneur. I'm a co-founder of the Underbelly. Click the link down below to join the Underbelly. You can also join us here on YouTube. If you go over to my About page and hit the join button, you can become a member of the Underbelly right here on YouTube. Today's video is about, it's about fisting. And you might not necessarily think yoga and fisting go together, but walk with me here. I think of sex and connecting with other human beings sexually as a really big part of my personal yoga practice. Learning about how to feel comfortable during sex has become a really big part of my practice. Fisting in particular, as a queer person, is a really big part of my life, and I just felt like I hadn't really seen anybody making videos about literally how to do this. And so I just wanted to make a reference video for anyone who might be curious about how to start doing this and how to start bringing it into your sex life. And I am by no means an expert about fisting at all. I just want to share a few things that I've learned along the way. And if you have things that you've learned or things that you're curious about, drop them in the comments and let's have a conversation. Let's keep this going and keep talking about it. It's nice to just talk about it casually and not have it be something that's like really stressful or something that makes you feel anxious or that makes you feel like you're not good enough. It sucks to feel like you're bad at sex, you know? So that's what these videos are about. A few things to consider when you're fisting someone. Number one, so I want to show the hand movement because I think that when we talk about fisting, there is this idea that it's like you're punching, like you're like fist, and it's just like your firm fist. And I'm not saying that you won't be fisting someone like this. Like ideally, preferably, eventually, this will totally be a thing, maybe minus the ring, but on the way there is not necessarily just like, you don't just slide your punching fist up inside of someone. I like to do everything really gradually. So for me, it's like one finger, two finger, maybe like a third finger, bringing in the thumb at this angle. And so you might rock like this for a while. And then that turns into three fingers, then four. And it might be like four. It might be like, it could be a couple different combinations of things to get there, but eventually it'll be like this shape. This is the fisting shape. As opposed to this. So once you actually get in there with this angle, then you can start to, it'll turn into this once you're inside. But that's a road and you might not get there. When you say fisting, it seems like you're like air pumping the sky, and it's like, no, don't do that. Like, it's really just like, it's more of like a trowel. They should call it troweling, actually. The fist is more referencing your entire hand as opposed to the actual shape of your fist. Number two, go slow, but not too slow. I think it's a really good idea. This is a totally personal preference, and I'm sure that there are many people who would disagree with this. I think it's a good idea to go slow at first, because even if you've had sex thousands of times, every time it's like you're just getting to know them because it's their body that day. And who they are that day is not who they were even earlier in the day or like even the day before. Just really showing up with that beginner's mindset is really helpful. And I think that a part of that beginner's mindset is just go slowly. Because when you start rushing, it's kind of like it's like, why are you rushing? What is this about now? Now it starts to feel really ego-based and very much like not about the person and more about what you can get from them. It becomes very transactional. Just showing up for the lessons, for the learning, and go slow, but not too slow. So it's nice, like once you actually start getting into it, you know, you pick up the pace, you listen to their breathing. Listening to your partner's breathing, I think in all sex is crucial. Definitely with fisting, extremely important. And it's also helpful when you're finding the rhythm to listen to music. I think music is really helpful when you're doing any kind of creative project, and sex is a very creative project. When you're listening to music, you can tune into the bass line, you can tune into the melody, you can tune into whatever it is that the singer is saying, to the lyrics, and it might not be traditional music, it might be nature sounds. Tuning into a sound that is a little bit ethereal can help you really tap into the erotic energy and get away from this mechanical, rhetorical, academic mindset that a lot of us can be in most of the time, because we live in a very automated world, we live in a very computer focused world, and it can be challenging to translate from that watching a video on YouTube to doing this very divine, erotic, creative act. Going slowly, but not too slow. Okay, number 3 is use gloves. So I want to show you gloves. I like to use gloves. Gloves are fun in all kinds of sex, but I think particularly with fisting, they're nice. Gloves are great from a hygiene perspective because they keep your hands clean. If you're not gonna wear gloves on both hands, to just wear a glove on one hand and then you know which hand is doing what. They're also really great from a texture perspective because the hands, they have nails, they have ridges, knuckles, hangnails. There's just so much shit going on with your hands and the different textures on them, and gloves can really neutralize that. Also, it's a really nice kinky moment if you have any kind of medical kink. Gloves are fun for that. But I really think that they neutralize the texture so that you can slide in easier when you're fisting. And fisting it's a lot of sensations when you're fucking someone. Number 4, keep it wet, baby. All right, so lube, I think, is so important when it comes to fisting. Spit is great. Spit is also really awesome. It doesn't matter how much spit you use, lube is really, really nice. And I have a couple different varieties that I want to show you. At this point, I'm pretty exclusively using coconut oil-based lubes because, that's not really true, but I prefer a coconut oil-based lube because it's just natural ingredients, and I just think it's better biologically, to not just be putting random shit into people's bodies. It just feels, I think it's just a courtesy, having natural ingredients is nice. I also really like whenever my lube has cannabis infused in it. This is a CBD infused lube, Foria lube with CBD. I've also really been enjoying this High Priestess. This is their lubricating sex oil. These are both CBD lubes. High Priestess also makes this stimulating arousal oil, which has other herbs in it as well. And it's just really dope for add that extra bit of sensation and to help you open up even deeper. So I definitely recommend these. I haven't used this one, but I have used this brand before. It's called Good Clean Love. This is the water-based lube, liquid. Yeah, there's tons of lubes. I think water-based is good. It just really depends on the biology of the person that you're with and your own biology. There's literally so many different kinds of lubes. I don't love the method for this particular Foria one. It has a dropper top, which it's really cute aesthetically, and it's, I guess, fun when you're having sex, but it's just not that handy. One of my dear loves, she exclusively uses this very big pump that I've thought is so handy. It's like a big lotion pump for lube. Very handy. You can just get in there, you're just lots of it. It's just good to be able to use lots of it. I think, this type of situation is great. When you just squirt up. You can just squirt on a little bit. That's great. These are good too. I don't love just personally, I don't love this type of top because I feel when my hands are very wet, it just gets really slippery in a way that can be a little bit painful, especially if you're wearing gloves, it can just get a little bit complicated. So try them out, try a lot. There's lots of different options, but keep lube handy when you are fisting, especially. Next, it's all about scooping, stretching, and lifting. It's not just about going in. And I think that Traditional logic when it comes to penetrative sex is that it's like you just get in there and you just start plowing in and you're just like mah, mah, mah. This is the way that cishet men tend to approach sex, is that they're just like, it's like you stick your dick in there and you're just like pop 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 pop. I'm not saying that's not good. I'm not saying that. Definitely enjoy getting dick down that way, but it's nice to vary things a little bit and have some tools in your toolbox. And I think that this motion of scooping and stretching wide and lifting is really nice for a couple different reasons. One, it is just generally stimulating the interior of the vagina. Or I'm thinking of it specifically in the case of the vagina, but this is also true of the anus. Gently massaging and opening slowly and gradually, that is really helpful for being able to actually get more fingers inside. It's also really great when you go in at a scooping angle, you are stimulating the G-spot. There's more opportunity to stimulate the G-spot and make more comfort within the physical body. That will allow you to get more fingers inside. If you can start stimulating the G-spot, and if you can open up to squirting, that will make fisting even more accessible. Lift weights and hit your chaturangas because you are gonna need that upper body strength. That is gonna make you have longevity when you're fisting because it's a pretty physically intense activity. It's also a really good idea to stretch ahead of time, particularly to stretch your hands. Really simple stretch that you can do for fisting before you get into it is just bringing your palm out in front of you, taking your opposite palm on top of the palm, and just pulling the fingers back. Just open up across the inside of your wrist because your hand is gonna get really, really tight inside. And so it's a good idea to just stretch ahead of time. And then you pull the fingers back the opposite way. Release. I like to release the jaw, drop my head from side to side, just get into a little bit of stretch. This you can literally be doing like in the bar while your partner's like, they're closing the tab, you're stretching your hands, you know what I mean? Like they go to the bathroom before, like you're in the bed, they go to the bathroom, you're just getting that little stretch in real quick, you know what I mean? Just get ready. Get ready so that you can really enjoy it and so that you don't spend the whole time that you're fisting someone wanting it to be over because you have a cramp in the middle of your palm. Like, that is not fun. Okay, I just want to name that is not fun. That will make you hate having sex. Like, it will just be like, why is this happening to me? Just on the topic of upper body strength, some of the best fisting that I've ever received was from a softball pitcher. And I would say that there's a reason the dykes play softball in other sports, and it is not just for the physical activity, it is practice for having sex. So if you played softball or if you have an interest in baseball or something like that, that's a great way to just keep that arm action going on, and also like this action of holding a ball. Very helpful. Number 7, find a comfortable position, and it might not be the position that you would think of. Don't be afraid to switch positions and prioritize the comfort of you and your partners over everything. It might be a position that you're not expecting, because the way that I'm sitting right now, cross-legged, this is one of my favorite ways to fuck. I like to just be sitting and like have someone spread open in front of me, and I'm just like at it from this angle. Like I can look at them, I can talk to them, I'm comfortable. It's not like if you can sit on a bolster or a pillow or something and just be like, just get real comfortable. I think that we have all these ideas because of porn, because of movies. We have all these ideas about like, you know, like fucking in the corner of the room and like fucking on the beach and fucking in a car and like all of these things. And I'm not saying that that's not great. That please do not take for what I'm saying. That's not great. But I just think it's really important to be comfortable, because you could be in it for a while. And I think that when we're not comfortable, it leads to lying and it leads to performance. And sometimes you want to perform when you're fucking, but just on a personal level, I don't really like to perform when I'm having sex. I like to just be in it and be present. And that means finding a very comfortable position and being comfortable moving around and changing positions and asking my partner, like, what is it that you need? What position is good for you? That's really important too. And fisting for, like, receiving fisting, it's nice on your back for sure. But I also think it's really nice to receive fisting on your knees, and on your knees, like on hands and knees, like a position that you might give birth in. I think generally the positions that you might give birth in are great for having sex. Pretty much across the board. Number 8, trim your fucking nails and get a manicure. This is a hygiene issue. Yeah, legit. I mostly get manicures because I be fucking people, and I like to keep my shit clean. My hands are my toolkit. Keep a nail kit handy. If you, in your toolkit of sex toys, just having a nail kit right there that you can trim up your fingernails and just keep everything like nice and tight, and have a nail file handy just to catch the little edges. It's just a nice courtesy to your partner. And if you really don't have time for that, then for sure, gloves, excellent. Just, your hands are your calling card. They say a lot about who you are as a person. Number 9, don't forget to use your mouth and your other hand, so that it's not just like full impact. It's not just like, it's, soft on the clit. Maybe there's vibration. I brought a couple different vibrators to show you. Vibration helps relax the body. It helps get you really calm, and just so that you can like relax into pressure of the fisting. It's really, really nice. And then number 10, I talked about this before, but finding a good rhythm. That should be a constant. The rhythm of your fucking should be a constant evolution. The symphony of your fucking should be evolving the entire time. Just really being able to feel every single part of it and get curious and just like feel around and see there's different textures, different sensations, like different parts. You can get into rhythms in certain parts and then other rhythms in different parts, and it's just playful. And it's not that serious. I think that sex can get so serious and it will just feel like really cumbersome and scary, and like I'm doing a bad job and I'm not a good person and I didn't do it good. And it's just not even like that. It's meant to be playful. You're here to have fun. Sex should be fun. I have been talking about fisting for a while, so I'm gonna stop. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, join my yoga studio, The Underbelly, here on YouTube, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.